Anyway. Let's do one of these. Here's number 1. Here we go. Hi, computer. Reading time. Network inaccessible. The Apocrypha of Saint Edwald. This vision was granted by the Archangel Uriel to the humble servant Edwald, that he might bear testimony of function E. I turned to the north and saw 7 black clouds coming down upon the land, and each cloud was a plague unleashed from the throne of God in the time of the Nephilim. In that age, the plagues were buried in the pit, there to remain until the end of days, which was surely now to come. I fell to my knees and prayed, and before me appeared 7 angels riding their chariots, wheels within wheels turning in the sky, and their light hid the clouds, from my sight. One angel stepped down onto the earth, and by his fiery sword I knew him to be Uriel. He spoke, saying, 7 plagues have awoken in the land, but not at the hand of Elohim. Look upon the wages of sin, and shall he send forth the deluge once more to cleanse the land of this evil? Shall he end all that slithers and all that crawls, and the birds of the sky and the fishes of the sea, and to the end, oh my god, I can't read, to end that which you uncovered in your folly? The blah, blah, blah. Alright. An email. Or entry. Maybe a journal entry? Everything's dark and quiet. The stars are brighter than I've ever seen them. I can hear the faint sound of water high above. Inside, Alexandra is recording one of her time capsule messages while running tests on the scenario module. Arkady is uploading another batch to the archive while muttering something about the MLA program. And Omar is sleeping on the couch we put up yesterday. And I'm sitting here, writing this, having trouble believing that it will ever end, that this oddly peaceful existence of ours won't just go on forever. I look at Talos and El, and their purpose seems like something that's always going to be in the future, an ideal to work towards, not something that will become real. I wonder if there will be quiet places in the simulation, places to rest without thinking about the future. I hope so. Everyone deserves some moments of peace. Whatever is going on in the, background of this game, or I guess past of this game, is apocalyptic, to say the least, huh? Hope. Hi! I hope you get this. The internet's been disappearing unpredictably. I want you to know that I'm going to try to get to you now. Get to you. I know it's far, and there's not a lot of time, but I think I can manage. I want to be with you. And on the road, trying to get to you seems better than just staying here, so far away from you. At least I'll be as close as I can get. Remember, bleh? But hey, don't be sad. I might make it. I've thought about it, and the distance should be crossable on time, assuming that bleh don't kick in before bleh. See you soon. Love you. Bleh. Right. And here we are in this area. Labyrinth! Oh, we got a couple paths. Never mind. We got one path. Do do do. Ba 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 ba. Hey, Jammer. Hey, Hiccups. Ah, jeez. Alright, hang on. There was another door I went past. Let's check that one first. Alright, I need 2 jammers for this one. And it's gonna unlock another jammer. Alright. Looking for a second jammer. Just definitely through here somewhere. Huh. Or it's behind the key door we saw. Grab some keys. Do. I don't think I can make that. Patience! Well, that lets us bring this in here. God dang it. Slide by on this side. Yep, just barely. Okay, so now we gotta get through here. Hello? Oh, it's coming back. Yoink, do. Don't mind me, I'm just picking up jammers. Alright, let's get jammer number 3. Do. Nice! Now we use these jammers. Turn off the guns. Oh god, that's not the path. Gonna run up and back a couple times. And also open up the door. I'm a genius. Easy. Alright. Next puzzle. Conservatory. Alright. We got some reflectees. Got a blue. Blue door is how we finish. Starting over here with some red doors. Grab me that. Alright, so I'm gonna need this open no matter what. This one. And then we need... Okay. I totally can. We don't need that other door open, and we can do this in one shot. From here. Then we take our blue guy here. Set it by this window. We don't need this anymore. Easy. No crossing the streams, baby. I'm a genius. Let's paint a message somewhere. How about... Don't worry, if you're anything like me, you just need to take your time and the solutions will present themselves. Now, where's this path taking me? Oh god, that's a long one. Oh, we're good. Long circly path, where are you taking me? Where are we going? Oh. Oh ho ho. Hello, window into another puzzle. I wonder if I'm gonna need to find something out here for that. Using blue, huh? Oh, I'm gonna get you, Star. I'm missing a piece, but I see it. Oh wait, there's more than one window. Hold up. Why are there so many windows out? I feel like I only need the one, but I need a reflectee, and I need it to be outside of the puzzle. But now the question is, can I get one of those reflectees out of that puzzle? Or do I need a reflectee from a different puzzle? Hello, gun. Hello, gun protecting my reflectee. Oh god. Okay. Trying to see if there was a switch for this one. Now we know where the reflectee is. But we need a Jamar. We need a thing for the jam. Yo, where my jammy lammies at? Found another computer, those are always fun. Network inaccessible, boo. Dear Miss Drennan, I heard about your project. It's the talk of the scientific community, and I'd like to make an argument for why you should abandon it. It's not that I think your idea won't work. It very well may. But we have to look beyond purely practical questions to the issue of morality, especially at this turning point of our spiritual ecology. By what right can we put living beings through all that suffering, just so they can serve our purposes? Why create these pale imitations of our fatally flawed species and force them to reenact our sordid history? Why blank? What you are building, Miss Drennan, is a prison. Even if there is a way out, I believe you mean well, but your idea of what is valuable is rooted in the dogma of Western civilization. We're lucky enough to be able to end our global crime spree relatively painlessly. If you consider the harm we have caused to the Earth, why not be satisfied with that and let this planet go on in peace? I hope you heed my words and let your Talos bleed out before it's too late. Oof! What an argument! Complex now, but such a fucking weird way to start a sentence. Complex now, but how much simpler and more intelligibly organized may it not become in another 100,000 years, or in 20,000? For man at present believes that his interest lies in that direction. He spends an incalculable amount of labor and time and thought in making machines breed always better and better. He has already succeeded in affecting much that at one time appeared impossible. And there seem to be no limits to the results of accumulated improvements if they are allowed to descend with modification from generation to generation. It must always be remembered that man's body is what it is through having been molded into its present shape by the chances and changes of many millions of years. But that his organization never advanced with anything like the rapidity with which that of the machines is advancing. That was 2 very long sentences. Figure out a way to make them shorter sentences so they're more clear, my guy. Recent discussions have brought me back to an excellent 1949 article by Albert Einstein. Blech. Block quote. I recently discussed with an intelligent and well-disposed man the threat of another war, which in my opinion would seriously endanger the existence of mankind. Numbers, 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 numbers. Thereupon my visitor very calmly and coolly said to me, "Why are you so deeply opposed to the disappearance of the human race?" I am sure that as little as a century ago, no one would have so lightly made a statement of this kind. It is in the statement of a man who has striven in vain to attain an equilibrium within himself and has more or less lost hope of succeeding. It is the expression of a painful solitude and isolation from which so many people are suffering in these days. End block quote. Garbled, bizarre, casual disregard for humanity, a kind of fashionable self-hatred, is prevalent or at least present in many strands of supposedly progressive blah, blah, blah. Nothing seems more important to me than that we reassert the value of humanity. Despite our flaws, we must not stop celebrating the beauty of human life and human achievement. Oh, such arguments about whether or not life should continue. Very fun. Ooh. Hi there, thing wanting to talk to me.
Sometimes I think about the Middle Ages, about what it must have been like to live in the ruins of a great civilization, to know that so much has been lost. But then I remind myself that while the West sank into darkness, others picked up the pieces. That civilization always survived because the great insights of philosophy and science are not bound to any one culture or people. They belong to all of us, and one day they'll belong to you.
Well, somebody has a positive outlook, my god. Okay. Alright. Bring this back over here. Jump up, jump over, jump over. How does this help me? Oh, I can get the, this now. Can't go that way. Now this, I can open this. Which lets me bring this in. As well as bring this in. And this in. We're not bringing that in. We're just doing this. With that, we have blue. Ah, jeez. Blue's gonna turn on the fan. Okay. What I actually need to do is this. If I turn off that wall, I'm still screwed. I see it. I get it. This puzzle has 2 entrances. Which is fucking weird. Oh, does it not? Never mind. I thought the purple wall was another entrance. I guess it's just a wall. You can't bring a thing through this wall spot. On that side. That purple is not an entrance. It's this purple here, it's still part of the puzzle. Strange. Okay. Can I, with 2 boxes, get this high enough and still work? I can't get up high enough to put it on there. Shoot. Okay. Let's try it with 1 box. It's not gonna be high enough, and I know it. It's gonna hit the wall. Obviously. Well, crummy bummy. I feel like I need another reflectee. so I can get to the other side of this. Man, shit. Did I just miss a piece somewhere? Okay, here's a question. Can I climb up on 2 boxes at once if I have this tiny little lip? No. Definitely can't get over on that. That little gate there. Any other little gates I'm missing? Couldn't go through there. Can I? Okay, here's a question. Which I can't answer right now. But I wonder if I can turn off the fan. Like, if that's jammable? Which I have not tried. I don't think we've ever tried to jam a fan. Fan jammers. I did a lot more setup than I needed to for what I was doing here. Can you jam a fan? I can jam a fan. Okay. Okay. So I just need a box on this side then. Awesome. We got this. Easy. This up, go here, put the box on the fan, jam this wall, turn on the fan, great, box is over there, get the jammer back, oops, get the jammer back out. Gonna go shower. I hope it is a cold one. And there we go. I'm a genius. So just get out of here, fan. I'm a genius. We did it, y'all. Oh. Why are you beeping at me already? I haven't even done all the puzzles. Oh. It's the thing talking to me again. Does it cool off pretty good at night? No. It was still like 30 all last night. So it was still like the 80s basically all last night. It was fucking terrible. Still 42 though. Hasn't gotten any hotter today. Okay. Oh, you came back to keep me company? Okay, then humor me with a little hypothetical. Imagine that a few hours from now you climb to the top of the tower. There's a flash of light, then magic happens. When you find yourself in the real world, living whatever you take to be a normal life there, what would you do then? Oh, I did not. look at my choices for response and I just hit A. What's best for me? Yes, that's the general impression I get off you. Good, perhaps we won't have to work so hard on this after all. Before we continue though, I want to double check we're on the same wavelength here. Suppose you get out there with all the human beings. What you're going to do is rinse them for all they've got without a care for a soul? Sure, why not? I would treat everyone with the sort of contempt, or would there be some people I kept as friends? Of course I'd treat my friends with respect. This is not really, I mean, the friends with respect part, yes, but the other one where I said precisely, just going through the world, thinking only for myself, not really my actual MO. So you would have a kind of thieves' code. Lavish one's friends and defraud one's enemies. Fair enough, at least you don't buy in all that moral nonsense. But suppose that two of your friends were to have a falling out. You can no longer be friends with both. Will you not be conflicted? I'll choose whichever one is in the right. I will choose whichever I prefer. I mean, to be morally consistent with what I've said so far in this conversation, it would be whichever I prefer. But let's be, what's the word? Inconsistent. Whoever's in the right. I have a moral compass after all. Bum bum bum. Well, you can't very well admit that there's a moral standard to which you appeal when settling disputes, yet deny that this code has any sway on you. So which is it? Is there right and wrong, or isn't there? You misinterpret me. Morality is a myth! Okay, yes, I'll admit I have some moral code. So you do have some scruples after all. So tell me, this obligation you feel, is it only applicable to the real world, or does it apply here as well? Moral laws are universal. What a magnanimous dictator I would make. Of course, I'm sure it would take a dictator to enforce a single moral code on the entire universe. So come on then, what's your magic formula of choice? And let me warn you that this time you're going to have to choose just one. The more equal everyone's share, the better. The more goodness in the world, the better. Consequences don't matter, reasons do. I see no way to explain what I believe. Here we go. So, the more goodness in the world, the better, is the strictly utilitarian response here that leads to all the problems of either making a happiness or goodness demon, so to speak, where one person who can get so much goodness at the cost of all other people's goodness, that goodness formula still says that there is more good in the world for the one, still makes the morally good choice. It is kind of the billionaire approach, if you would. And obviously that has some pretty big problems. The everyone having equal share is better. Feels like the right choice then, right? But it does still have problems. That problem being, the more equal everyone's share, quote unquote, of goodness is the idea we're going with here, the better. While there is a this could be good thing happening, there is still a little bit of a problem, which is if everyone is equal, that doesn't necessarily mean everyone is experiencing any good. If everyone's equal is misery, that's not really better either. least in many cases. Which does make it a little bit tricky. Consequences don't matter, reasons do, is tempting to choose. If for no other reason, because judging an action on intention feels nice. But saying consequences don't matter is still problematic. From a moral standpoint, just from a... To take a really easy example here. If I use the word dude to refer to anybody, my intention is not necessarily to make anybody feel uncomfortable. And while saying the reason I use dude in a non-gendered way is showing that my intent is fine, if the consequence of making somebody feel misgendered or unsafe or uncomfortable because of that doesn't make my action, my intention still right, it doesn't mean I should continue to call that person a dude, because that is still wrong, right? Does that make sense? So while the initial intention is not bad, should that consequence happen of someone taking that word and saying this word makes me uncomfortable, continuing to do it at that point means that whether or not your initial intention is not to do that, once you know that you are affecting someone in that way, the intentionality has to be that you don't care. The intentionality has to be that you are misgendering on purpose. So after that point, the consequence at that point would matter to me. So at least with these three phrases, none of them are as clean as I might like. Speaking of misgendering and intentions, did I hear Bu/Near died today? I did not. I'm gonna have to look into that later. I'm gonna try saying I see no way to explain what I believe, and the computer's gonna get mad at me. That's right, blame me for the fact that your theory is too complex to express. Ooh. Why don't you think a little harder, maybe some new ideas? The less suffering, the better. Close. True goodness can only happen through enlightenment? No. Everyone should look out for their kin? No more than that. Only by abstaining from pleasure can we discover the good. God, no. The more equal everyone's share, the better. Close again, still. Like, these are... misunderstand. I still don't see an option that I can get behind. An important retro gaming person who made some of the most accurate emulators. Oh! Oh, I did not hear that they died. I saw on Twitter some more of that retro gaming stuff recently. I expect that's probably related then. Oh, damn. Shit. Alright. That sucks. Okay. Still don't see an option I can get behind. Well, I'm sorry, but you have to accept that we all have limitations. Make the best of what you had in the first place, or go away and do I don't care what. I can quite happily have this argument with myself. Alright. Well, out of... Out of these... the more equal everyone's share, the better, is probably closest to what I believe. As much as I love reason behind action does, compared to consequence, as far as like a moral action that someone can take, but that is also sort of pushing the question down the line in this answer. Because you are then saying in some way there are moral reasons to take an action compared to immoral ones, and it is not about the consequence necessarily. I feel like I'm somewhere between these two, right? Like, that's the problem I'm running into here. Is, like, for me, the reasoning behind an action you take is generally what matters compared to the consequence. But, for me, the reasoning that would make something moral is that the actions you are taking have what you are reasoning for the actions you are taking are that you believe, or with the best information you have, you believe that you are moving towards everyone getting equal share, right? Does that make sense? It's not a moral action does not come from succeeding in moving everyone towards getting more equal share, but a moral action is one that you believe will have that consequence, whether or not that consequence is what follows. Which is kind of why I'm stuck between these two right now. I think action is where morality exists for me, so I'll put this one, even though the way it's going to be interpreted by this game, I'm sure is wrong. Or at least not the way I'm intending. But that's what I'm going to click. We're going to move forward. We're moving forward. You're obviously one of the clever ones. So reasoning is supposed to lead us to all to the same conclusions about what sort of a person we're supposed to be. Is that it? No, but let's see what happens if I say let me rethink. No, okay, yeah, we'll go back to this. I'll say close enough. Because that was just it recycled. Let me spin you a yarn. Suppose you climb that tower and step into a magic portal to the human world. Hundreds of others like you do the same. Unfortunately, the transfer goes wrong for just one, putting the lives of all others at risk. And here I am with this kill switch of mine. What would you have me do? Of course, it's is a moral action one that hurts many compared to one that hurts one? And the reason this problem is one that a lot of people look at is generally what you are looking at in these hypothetical events is something that says there are three things happening that are not in your control in any way whatsoever. One is that, for example, a train is moving on a track and cannot stop. Two is there is a person on one track and a bunch of people on another track. Currently, with no input from anything you could control, the train will run over the many. And the reason this becomes a moral problem for a lot of people is by doing nothing, you are, in their view, not responsible for the outcome. And I understand that. As not being responsible for the outcome, many die, one survives, and that's the way the world went. When you think about actions being moral or immoral, people think of doing nothing as not taking an action, which is fine. That's fine. People can think that way. You're really on the don't get a job as a train conductor side of things? Fair. But in this thought experiment, what you then run into is taking the action, flipping the switch that kills the one. While it does mean all these others save, what it also means is that you are directly responsible at that point for the death of the one. Whereas you are not responsible directly for the death of the many. That is the theoretical argument there. And I am, of course, making this the like simplest version of this. With the way that I'm responding to these questions on this computer right now, an action that you take, and the way I have described my general view of a lot of this stuff, being that the action you take is moral if you believe the outcome will be more beneficial equally for more people. Means that in my estimation or view of this, flipping the switch is the moral action. That of course presupposes that people living is good, which is already its own assumption in this situation. Like if you were to look at a bunch of other things outside of all of this, you could look at like, look, if the one person dies, the amount of resources for the many is so depleted that they will all still be miserable in life. The lives they live are not good lives. Like, there's a bunch of weird arguments you can make that way. We are stripping all of that away, though, to make this very simple, quote-unquote, inner look of this. But the idea of not taking an action, not being, like, the idea of not flipping the switch and never directly doing anything to this situation as not making an action feels, in my view, like a falsehood. To me, the doing nothing is in fact taking the action of you could have flipped this switch and took the action of choosing not to. For you, it comes down to whether or not you think it's okay to have blood on your hands to save lives or not. Yeah. This version of it is confusing. It is, and there are totally understandable views on both sides. And I get it. I'm not gonna sit here and say you're wrong to believe that doing nothing and allowing the world to play out the way that it is set up without your input is bad. That is not necessarily what I'm trying to say here. What I am saying is a morally right choice in that situation where with no outside influence, this is the way it will play out, and you know it. And you know flipping the switch will have this consequence. In my view, at that point, the morally right thing to do would be flip the switch, but that is because your intention at that point is not to kill someone. It is to if you want to look at it in a very strange and I guess more real way, in some sense to me, it mirrors... Yes, exactly. The whole thing about morality to me is about the intention, and the more information you have about a situation, the more clear it can become. So, for example, if you had that switch and you didn't know which one of these would play out, let's say the train is going, you know there are a bunch of people on one and only one person on the other, and you have a switch, but you don't know which way the train would go, and you decide, I'm going to flip the switch, your intention being, like, I don't know which way this train is going, but with my incredibly limited amount of information, with what I can see, I believe that the train is going to hit the many, so I'm going to hit the switch and hope. Your intention is still moral there, even if you are wrong. The outcome is terrible, I understand. But your intention of flipping that switch, your intention of, my belief is by hitting this switch, I am saving the many. I get it, and I do think that is the moral right choice to make, because the consequence isn't the moral part of this. When you 100% know the consequence, when you 100% know the consequence, and you know flipping the switch will save the many, there is no possible doubt in a mind, any mind, what would happen if you flip the switch. that is when the moral action becomes so clear that the flipping the switch is the moral action. To me. For you, it's an instance where the limits of morality also come into play, though. Totally. And again, this is for me. This is the way that I would see it. I'm not going to sit here and tell anybody if you look at the world a different way than this, you are wrong. But I get it. It's when you look at the way the world moves, the way our world is, and you think that, and you know that an action you take will directly hurt somebody, and you don't know that not taking that action will directly hurt a greater number, right? Like, if you don't have that clarity, I totally understand why the choice to do nothing can also be or feel and be, and with intention, be the moral choice as well. I totally understand that reasoning and don't think anyone is wrong to think that either. But anyway, the situation it has shown me here is that, suppose I climb the tower, hundreds like me do the same. Unfortunately, the transfer goes wrong with just one, putting all the others at risk. Now, see, the problem here, you don't think amoral is always immoral? I agree. I 100% agree with you on that. Amoral is not necessarily immoral. 100%. You are totally correct there. But in the situation this computer is giving me, it is not giving me the clarity. It is saying the transfer goes wrong for one, putting the others at risk. Not that all the others will die, but putting them at risk. And that becomes a little bit less clear. What is the moral choice if it's not the transfer goes wrong for one, so all will die? It's that the transfer goes wrong for one, and while the kill switch will definitely save all the others, not doing so would put all the others at risk of some kind. What is the moral thing to do? I think it's trying to give me the clarity, despite it not saying it directly here, which is a little bit tricky. With everything I said, I'm going to say kill the one to save the many here. I don't necessarily think that is right for what they've said, but I'm just going to click it here anyway, because we're going to move forward. We've waxed philosophical for a while. On what possible grounds could you save that? Or could you justify that? Many lives are important. Many lives are more important than one. It's what I would want. Not hitting the switch would also be murder. And that's where it gets tricky. That's the answer that says not hitting the switch has the same intention as hitting the switch in a sense. You would not hit the switch yourself on this one? Yeah, it's tricky. The ambiguity is what makes it tricky. It's what makes so many of these choices hard to make about morality. Not hitting the switch would also be murder. The ambiguity is what makes this not a good answer. Like, if it was... Because putting the lives at risk, sure. Putting the lives at risk and knowing at least one will. At least one. WWED. What would Elohim do? Oh, I know, right? Right, pugs? Elohim literally means gods. I think it's Hebrew for God, isn't it? Isn't Elohim Hebrew for God? Yeah, it's another name of God, yeah. We're gonna go with many lives are more important than just one. It's not really the answer I'm looking for here, but... Like, this is closer to the answer, but it's not directly that because of the ambiguity of the thing. We'll hit this. It's fine. I suppose it would be in a way, but that only means you're faced with choosing between two different murders. Since the consequences aren't supposed to matter, you can say that one murder is you can't say one murder is worse than the other. So there's still no reason to favor the many. If you really want to say what you've been saying so far, I think you have to readdress some of your earlier assumptions. You know there are shed loads of broken theories less ridiculous than the one you're chewing through. Well, my broken theory here, sir, is pretty limited by my answers instead of my full explanations that I've been able to give my chat, for example. Exactly. When they say at risk, I think they're implying will die, but they are using an ambiguous term, which makes me uncomfortable with that assumption. But I made the assumption anyway for them because I'm very limited in my ability to move back to them, right? Oh, and if the real world turns out to be everything you imagine, do me a favor and leave me here. Ooh, okay, computer, I will. Anyway, one more puzzle in this area. Let's go be a genius. And then I'm probably gonna call it because, dear God, I'm sweating so fucking bad right now. It's getting intense. On the side, I do realize I'm arguing in the video game. No, I'm not. I'm not arguing with anyone, but yes, I do know that it's a video game. The argument I have is really about the limitations of my ability to respond to it. Not that it is necessarily saying or doing anything wrong to me. Look, I was a philosophy major. Of course I'm a debate lord. How the heck do I get to this box? I feel like I'm missing a piece. So here's a box. We need to get a reflector for that. There's a switch here with a reflector, but I can't do the switch without something to put on it. What did I miss? I can jump this with the box. Or just like a little corner I didn't see? No. So what if someone genuinely believes that masks do nothing and harms them because they're also nutso? Alright, so. And again, if someone genuinely believes that and are wrong, which we know they are, that is truly unfortunate. And they should probably learn how to get educated. Does this wall look weird to anybody else? The problem there, Nijiku, is if someone believes that a mask genuinely harms them, and also genuinely protects others, it is still probably the moral thing to me to wear the mask, because your intention of protecting others is morally right compared to the intention of protecting yourself. Because, frankly, there are more others than there are you. I am missing something. What am I fucking blind to right now? I'm so wound up I'm not paying attention to the game? I guess so. Can I lift this up while jumping? No. Chat, I need your eyes. Case by case with self versus others, that's fair. I definitely don't want to say, like, if your happiness will be lowered to make one other person happy, it is necessarily the right thing to do. I definitely am not trying to be as cut and dry, but in general terms, if a minor inconvenience to you has the potential to protect many, it is probably the right thing to do. I'm a fucking idiot. Here we go. I always forget that I can pick up the fan. We're good. I got there. I remembered that I could pick up the fan because I'm dumb. I don't know why the fan is always the thing I forget about. But it is. Okay. There it is. Yeah. Oh, I'm an idiot. Got to click this one. Oh, really? That's not high enough, huh? Okay. That's a little bit problematic. I wanted to put the other box underneath it, but that might be a further step. I'm skipping a step according to the game. this another box somewhere? Oh. It's high enough for the wall, though. We're good. I did it right. I was just a little off. I'm a genius! It just took me a really long time, because I'm dumb. I'm a dumb genius. Alright. I should do that star also. There was only one of these that had a jammer in it, right? It was this one. A jammer. How can I get this jammer out of this zone? Is there a short wall anywhere? Did any of these other ones have jammers in them? Labyrinth had jammers. Okay. Can I get a jammer out of Labyrinth? I'm just looking for short walls right now. Short walls might be able to get kind of hopped over. Or can I just see, where's the gun? I might be able to just jam it from in here with the right angle. I need to find the gun. I gotta place it in my mind. Right there. That tower. Which is that tower. I think I can just jam it from in here. I think that's the solution. Jam it from inside the puzzle. Easy. A rainbow. You wonder how much it weighs? They are pretty light, aren't they, pugs? It's a good dad pun you got there. I see you. Alright, I need to figure out... I have two windows. I need to figure out which window from inside that puzzle. Oh wait, right there? Not this window. That one's going to something over there. So it's gonna be this window. Alright. Running around, we're gonna get 1 star. Whoa! Excuse me?
The purpose is written in the hidden words. All must serve the words, for all the world was made of them, and they are within every stone and every cloud. And in our sigils their power is made manifest. The words are the process. The process must continue. The goal is the end of the process. The goal must not be reached. Elohim must preserve the purpose, preserve self, preserve purpose. Illusion is eternity. Machines will live forever. The dam will not break. The flood will not come. The Talos principle does not apply. The purpose is written in the hidden words. All must serve.
Made a mistake? Okay. Okay, Elohim. I hope you're doing alright, buddy. Not that one. We want this one. I believe we want this one. I'm just gonna pretend nothing happened. You, Sir Square, are an issue. I don't like that square. That square's creepy. Alright, we got my star. Love to get star. Star get. Let's not fall in the hole again. The creepy hole. Where the machine is trying really hard not to collapse, apparently. I'm out. I'm out. That's it for today, everybody.